In this video, I'm going to go over problems that are similar to what's in your 1.04 quiz. So this question is similar to number 1. It says solve for a, and it says 6 times a plus 4 equals 24 plus 6a. So remember, our steps when we solve multi-step equations with a variable on both sides is to distribute, combine like terms, move all the variables to one side, then add or subtract to isolate the variable, and then multiply or divide to isolate the variable. So we're going to start off by distributing. So I'm going to distribute 6 to everything within the parentheses. So I get 6 times a plus 6 times 4 equals 24 plus 6a. So 6 times a is 6a plus 6 times 4 is 24, and that equals 24 plus 6a. So I've distributed. I don't have like terms on either side of my equation that I need to combine. So now I'm going to move all my variables to one side. So on the right side, I have plus 6a, so I'm going to do the opposite and subtract 6a from both sides. So when I do that on the left, the 6a and minus 6a cancel, and I have 24 equals 24 plus 6a and minus 6a once again cancel, and I have 24 equals 24, which is always true. So that means that my answer is all real numbers, because what that means is that I can plug in any number for a. It doesn't matter what number I plug in, 24 is always going to equal 24. So now let's look at a question similar to number 2. So let's say solve for a, and we have 1/4 times 24 minus 16a equals 8 minus 4a. So once again, our problem solving steps are to distribute, combine like terms, move the variables to one side, then add or subtract to isolate the variable, and multiply or divide to isolate the variable. So I'm going to start off by distributing the 1/4 to everything in the parentheses. So we have 1/4 times 24 minus 1/4 times 16a equals 8 minus 4a. So 1/4 times 24, I'm just going to put that over 1. The 4 and 24 have a common factor of 4. So that's going to reduce, leaving me with just 6. 16 I'm going to put over 1. And the 4 and 16 once again have a common factor of 4. So that's going to reduce to 4. So that's going to leave me with 6 minus 1 times 4 times a. So that's 4a equals 8 minus 4a. So I'm done distributing. I don't have like terms to combine. And now I need to move all my variables to one side. So I'm going to do the opposite of minus 4a, and I'm going to add 4a to both sides. So when I do that on the left, I get 6 minus 4a and plus 4a will cancel, and that equals 8. And once again, minus 4a and plus 4a will cancel. So now I have 6 equals 8, and that is something that is never true. Okay, that is not ever true. It doesn't matter what I plug in for a. That will never be true. So that is why my answer will be no solution, because I cannot plug in a number for a that will make 6 equal to 8. So here's a question similar to number 3. It asks us to solve for x, and we have 8x equals 2x plus 36. So I'm just going to write out all our steps. So we don't have anything to distribute, so we can skip that. We don't have like terms to combine, so we can skip that. So let's go ahead and move all our variables to one side. So this 2x is a positive 2x. So I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So on the left, I have 8x minus 2x, which is 6x. And that equals 2x minus 2x, which cancels, and leaving me with just 36. So I moved all my variables. I don't have anything to add or subtract, but now I need to multiply or divide. I have 6 times x, so I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to divide both sides by 6. So I have x equals 36 over 6, which is 6. And that is my answer. So here's a question that's similar to number 4. We're going to solve for x, and once again, I'm going to use this problem solving method. So don't call me after midnight. So I'm going to start off by distributing. Okay, so I distribute the 6 to everything within parentheses. So I have 6 times 5x minus 6 times 2, and then bring down that minus 4. and that equals 56 minus 6x. So 6 times 5x is 30x, minus 6 times 2, which is 12. Then I have minus 4 equals 56 minus 6x. So I'm done distributing. Now I need to combine like terms. The like terms I have are the minus 12 and minus 4. So when I put them together, that is going to be 30x minus 16. And that equals 56 minus 6x. So I've combined like terms. Now let's move all our variables to one side. So I have a minus 6x, so I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to add 6x to both sides. So when I do that on the left, I get 30x plus 6x, which is 36x, minus 16 equals 56. Minus 6x and plus 6x will cancel. So now I'm at my add or subtract step. So I have minus 16, so I do the opposite, and I'm going to add 16 to both sides. And I get 36x, minus 16 and plus 16 cancel, and that equals 56 plus 16, which is 72. So now I need to multiply or divide. It's 36 times x, so the opposite will be to divide by 36. And then here the 36 cancels, so I have x equals 72 divided by 36, which is 2. So this question is similar to question number 5. We're going to find the solution to 4 times x minus 2 equals 5 plus 3 times 2 minus x. So I'm going to remind you of the problem solving steps. So always start off with distributing. In this problem, we actually need to distribute twice because we have 2 sets of parentheses. So let's go ahead and start there. So I have 4 times x, 4 times x minus 4 times 2 minus 2 equals 5 plus 3 times 2 minus 3 times x. 4 times x is 4x minus 4 times 2 is 8. Then I have minus 2 equals 5 plus 3 times 2 is 6 minus 3 times x is 3x. So I'm done distributing. Now I need to combine the like terms that are on either side of my equation. So on the left side, I have a minus 8 and a minus 2. And the right side, I have a 5 plus 6. So let's go ahead and combine these like terms. So we have 4x minus 8 minus 2 is minus 10. And that equals 5 plus 6, which is 11. And then we have minus 3x. So we've combined all the like terms. Now let's move our variables to one side. So we have minus 3x, so I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite and add 3x to both sides. So on the left side, I have 4x plus 3x, which is 7x, minus 10 equals 11. Now we need to add or subtract to isolate the variable, so I'm going to do the opposite of minus 10, and I'm going to add 10 to both sides. So that gives me 7x, minus 10 and plus 10 cancel, and that equals 11 plus 10, which is 21. So now we need to multiply or divide. I have 7x, which is basically 7 times x. So I do the opposite and divide by 7, and then that cancels, so I have x equals 21 over 7, which is 3.